Hello, my name is Anna, I'm a permanent makeup artist, and today I would like to show you the difference between the three most popular machines in the permanent makeup industry. I would like you to know that this video is not sponsored and I bought these machines with my own sources to see the difference. The first one is Beller from FK Iron, USA. The second is Cheyenne, Germany. And the third one is Ingot from Biotech, Italy. These two are for permanent makeup, and this one is body tattoo. I'm more interested to explore Beller and Biotech machines because I know them from a permanent makeup industry more, and Cheyenne was used mostly for body tattoo, but some of my friends are using them also for permanent makeup, but they told me to try, so I would like to see today how it goes. So I'd like to try each of them today and see the difference by myself. So for now, I will try each of them on the latex skin to see how it works, how it's comfortable for artists, and we'll see which one works better for permanent makeup procedures. I would like to start with checking the weight of each of them because I know it's easier to work with a lighter weight in the hand. We start with Beller from FK Iron. The weight is 81.3 grams. Cheyenne, 149.4, so almost double as Beller. And then Ingot from Biotech, 60.5, the least weight of 3. So now I put cartridges on each of them, and I would like to test how it's comfortable to hold them and how to use them in work. So let's start with this one, with Beller. And it feels pretty much normal, but the weight is not too much for me. I could work with that. Then let's see with Cheyenne. I don't even know how to hold it. It seems not so comfortable. I don't know how people can work with this weight, and the diameter also seems a bit not so easy to work with. But some of my friends can use it, but I'm not sure I could work with that few hours in a row. Let's see. And the last one, Biotech. Seems also quite comfortable as Beller, even lighter. So I don't feel any uncomfortable. I don't feel uncomfortable holding it. So after trying to hold each of them and to trying to use each of them, I would say that Cheyenne is a complete no from me because I can't imagine, as I said, to work with it for a few hours with this weight. So I wouldn't recommend it for permanent makeup, for me. And then for Beller and Biotech, I would say that they're pretty light and comfortable to use. But Biotech has these areas to place the fingers, which is very comfortable for me. So for me, it seems more easy to use. And also it's more compact, it's lighter, and it's even more short and smaller in diameter. But let's see. One more thing to mention is that the machine from Biotech, Ingot, works only with Ingot cartridges. Whereas the other machines, such as Beller and Cheyenne, they work with universal cartridges for other machines, for body tattoo. Speaking of the cartridges and needles, I would like to compare the prices for which I bought them. So Ingot costed me 35 euros for like 10 needles. Then for Beller, I acquired Vertix for 47 euros. And for Cheyenne, it was Quadron needles for 30 euros. Speaking of the needles, for permanent makeup artists, it's important to use thin needles precisely for the work, very accurate, very precise. So from Ingot there was around 20 different types of needles for permanent makeup, very thin, and I know I can choose and to work better with them. For Vertex there was 4 or 5 types of needles for permanent makeup, and for Quadron, the pink ones, there was a bit more than Vertex, so maybe 6-7 types of needles for permanent makeup that I could choose. And let's see the prices of the hand pieces of the machines. So, Cheyenne was 649 euros. Beller, 1,100 euros. And Ingot, 855 euros. And whatever you guys choose, we know that these are the best machines in the industry, 3 the best types, because I know that you can find cheaper ones on Alibaba or like for 100 or something, but I want to be sure that I'm using the best quality machines, and I don't want to use any cheap and unprofessional stuff in my work. Okay, let's test them on the latex. And as you know, each handpiece of the machine is different, so they have different motors, and for this reason they have to be run at a different speed. So let's start with Cheyenne. For this machine I have to use a speed of 8 volts, and to be fair, to compare them, all of them, I will use the same control unit. So let's start with Cheyenne. Let me put the gloves. Okay. Before starting, we have to adjust the length of the needle. And oh my god, what's this sound? Anyway, and the speed I'm using is 8 volts. So I'm gonna leave the needle quite out for like 3 millimeters, and I will test the Cheyenne machine for lining and for shading, because I don't want to use different machines for lining and shading. So I would like to have one universal that I can use in my work, so it's easier for me. And I will test now each of the 3 machines I have here for these procedures in the same exact way, one lining and one shading. So the machine is releasing a lot of pigment, which is good, but I don't know, it feels so powerful for me. I don't know why. Is it the motor or is it the size? But maybe it's a bit too powerful for me. Maybe even a bit aggressive, and I can even feel it on the latex. So imagine how it would be on the skin. I have a feeling that the machine is piercing the latex and driving to the table, but it's not. But it's just a feeling. I have an impression that because the machine is so heavy for me, it's quite hard to hold it in my hand. Normally when I do the pixel movement, I put the machine on my little finger, the pinky one. But with Cheyenne it's pretty much impossible because the weight is so big, so it hurts. I can't control it, so I think that's no for me, and I would like to see the other one. So I will go on with Beller. So this time I'm using Beller machine with needles from Vertex. The needle is a couple of millimeters off, and now I'm gonna dip it into the pigment and see how it's working. The speed is still 8 volts. Before using it, I would like to check the needle exit to put it a bit more out. Oh, I don't know what I did, but I just wanted to adjust a bit, but the part came out, so I put it back. It's a bit strange. Let's continue. So I already can say that this one is more silent, so it's very convenient for me. I don't hear this noise. But the problem is that I noticed it's pretty hard to suck the pigment when I'm dipping the needle into it. I don't know why. Let's see the tip of the cartridge, and we see that it's quite long and thin, and probably for this reason it doesn't suck the pigment as much as I need it. So it will mean that I need to dip the cartridge into the pigment after every hair stroke. And it's quite annoying as for me. And you see I'm having a problem here to do the full line, as after I did half of the line, the pigment in the tank is already finished, so I have to dip it again. And of course this is a problem, because I need to go over the same line. Now let's test the shading. And also here, unfortunately, I see that there is not enough pigment in the tank for me. Now I'm doing a pixel movement and I'm not releasing any pigment anymore. So overall, this machine is not so bad, and if only they could use the pigment releasing problem. But comparing to Cheyenne, I could work with it, of course. And now let's try Inkblot. For this machine I'm lowering the speed and it has to be 5.56 volts. Okay, let's test it. Yeah, let's check the needle exit as always. And I dip it into the pigment. This one is a little bit more noisy than the previous one. But as you already know, it's more comfortable for me to hold it in my hands. As I mentioned before, there are these places for the fingers in the cartridge, so it feels pretty much comfortable and easy to use. And now let's do a line as a test, as always. From what I see, the color flow looks good for now. Yeah, so the line came out pretty well, so I'm impressed. And now I'm gonna do the shading again, and I'm doing the pixel movement, and for now it looks fine. But let's see after I clean up everything. It looks pretty much perfect for me. I have to say that the color implementation for me was very easy. and it was releasing the right amount of pigment. Also, the distance between the pixels look very smooth, and for me it's a perfect transition. Right now, let's wipe everything off, and I will show you in the close-up the comparison of what I did. So let's wipe up everything and let's see the results. So here we can see the results, and the first one was with Cheyenne machine, and as I said, it was more aggressive and powerful, so also the result is more intense, maybe too much intense, and not quite what I expected. The next one was Beller, and I see that the pixels are different, so some are like bigger, some are smaller. The intensity of the color is also different, and the line is fractured as there was a problem with the pigment flow. And with Inglot, I'm pretty much satisfied because the line is very sharp and consistent. All the pixels are like on point, let's say, and it's very homogeneous and looks just perfect. And for me, Inglot is a winner. Okay, so now let's make a final conclusion. After working with all three of machines, I would say that, as you remember, Cheyenne was very heavy and too much intense for me, and I couldn't work with that. Maybe for body tattoo it would be fine, but for permanent makeup, for me it's a no. And then between Inglot and Beller, I could say that with the price, Inglot was 855 euros and Beller was 1,100 euros. And you remember that the result was better with Inglot, the consistency of pixels, and with Beller there was a problem with pigment flow. So for me, maybe this difference in price of Beller is not justified. So I would say Inglot would be my choice because also it's more comfortable and it's easy to hold and there is no problem with the pigment flow. And for me, it's just 5 out of 5. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you liked it and I hope it will be useful for you. Put likes, put comments. I'm interested about your feedback, and subscribe to my channel and see you in the next videos. Bye!